So I recently acquired this 3D printer from a friend. He had trouble getting it printing a nice print, or printing at all. The finish of the print was rubbish, it would clog up on the extruder, it was really bad, and by no means an out of the box scenario. So I've taken it off of his hands on the premise that I will get it working and then I can use it for a few months. So what we've done is upgraded the extruder. The extruder was probably the main issue with it. It would always clog up after just minutes of printing. The extruder would clog up. We would very rarely get a finished print. But when we did, it was okay. The finish was all right. We could only print very small stuff. Anything that would take longer than half an hour, you haven't got a hope. It just would not happen. So we upgraded the extruder for a Titan from E3D, as well as the hot end. We got the whole kit. It was about £100 for this. Now the problem, it seems, is the cooling of it. The surface of a print is really bad, as you can see from these feet here, which the print didn't finish, but as you can see, the surface of those is terrible. It's just the cooling doesn't seem to be working right. So the friend whose 3D printer this was, in the end he bought an Ultimaker and he printed off these cooling vents for me. They snap on there like that, but it's just not doing the job. It's really badly melted from the hot end where it's making contact. This one would be the best one, but I'm unable to use it because it doesn't fit onto the hot end itself, because the gantry that the whole hot end is built onto gets in the way, because this original gantry wasn't for this extruder at all. I've just sort of made do. Luckily the holes were in the right place that I could actually bolt through to the stepper motor behind, but it's not made for this job. So what I'm going to do now is replace this with my own custom made one, just out of a bit of metal. I've got this here. It was a network switch, and I've just basically taken it apart, and I'm going to use the metal from this to build our own gantry. It's going to be rough, it's not going to be great, but after we know it works, we can fit this on for the cooling, then we're going to be able to go ahead and 3D print a decent one, because hopefully then the 3D printer will be working. But at the moment we can't do much. So that's the plan. Stick around, stay tuned, follow along. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to take this whole gantry off of here so we can use it as a sort of template for our new one. Now, I don't have all my tools available here, so I'm just going to make do with what I've got at the moment. What I should have done really was heated up the element, heated up the hot end, and backed off the actual filament, but what I'll do instead is just cut that there. That'll be fine for the minute. Now, I can't remember I'll leave that quite long actually, just in case we need it. Now there's a little Allen right down there, and there it comes. So now I can cut these temporary cable ties that I put on previously. So that's all of that removed, and now should be able to lift this off now. Oh. Quite tight on those linear bearings. Okay, so I'm going to have to feed all those through from the control panel, from the electronic distribution. So if I uncable tie everything I've cable tied up. So we just undo these blue wires and bring them through the other end. Okay, so I've loosened the wires off at their root, so now we should just be able to pull these through and get those out of the way. And there we go. So that's now the hot end. We're left with the plate, which, because it's got the holes in the right positions that we need, we should be able to use that as a template. So I've drawn it out, everything I need to draw. It's a bit of a mess, but it should work. Now I've left this top lip on the top here because where it fits onto the rails of the 3D printer, the belt needs to attach to something. So I'm going to leave that there for the minute. I'll tidy it up, it's an absolute mess at the moment. I'll leave that there for the minute, and we could use that for the belt. Okay, so let's drill out the holes for the stepper motor first of all. Again, how I'm going to cut this middle hole, I don't know. But for now, I can use drill bits and just work my way up to the biggest size I've got. Try and clean that up with a Dremel. I'm going to be wearing a really old motorbike helmet for this. Safety first. Oh, yeah. Made an absolute pig's ear of that. That is terrible. But hopefully it'll do the job until we can 3D print a version. That's going to be it for part one. Next step, get this cut out, file it down, clean it up, give it a spray of black paint just for fun, and then we'll look at mounting it onto the 3D printer. Stay tuned for part two, it's coming shortly. Subscribe if you want to see more.